could completely transform your life. Not just minor upgrades, not just a few better habits, but a total overhaul into the existence you've always dreamed of, but never seized. Most people waste years circling the same cages, chasing goals they will never reach. Why? Because they lack direction. They wander aimlessly, hoping for change instead of engineering it. But let me make something clear. You do not need years to change your life. You need focus. You need an unbreakable strategy. You need a ruthless plan. This is your master plan. 12 steps to take you from the person you are to the unstoppable force you were meant to become. 6 months. That's all it takes. If you execute, if you commit, if you stop making excuses and start making war on your old self. So are you ready? Not to dream, not to wish, but to take, to dominate, to rise. Let's begin. Step 1. Define your vision, or die wandering. Most people drift through life like ghosts. They move, they exist, but they do not live. They wake up every day trapped in a routine they never chose, suffocating under the weight of wasted time and unfulfilled dreams. Why? Because they never defined their vision. They exist in a fog of vague desires. I want success. I want money. I want to be happy. Pathetic. Vague goals lead to vague results. If you do not carve out a precise, unshakable vision for your future, then you will become a slave to someone else's. Who do you want to become? What will your life look like in 6 months? What will you build? What will you conquer? What will you destroy? You need clarity. Ruthless, unapologetic clarity. How much money do you want to make? What skills will you master? What will your body look like? How will you feel waking up 6 months from now? Write it down. In brutal, unrelenting detail. Make it so vivid that it burns into your soul. So clear that it haunts you every second of the day. Because without that level of clarity, you will never move. You will stay stuck. You will waste years. You will decay in the same routines, chasing illusions instead of creating reality. But here's the truth. Clarity is power. When you define your vision, something shifts. The fog lifts. Your mind locks in like a predator spotting prey. Suddenly, every action has a purpose. Every opportunity appears sharper. Every distraction becomes intolerable. It may feel like magic, but it's not. It's the power of direction. Most people are lost because they never chose a target. And you cannot hit a target you do not aim at. So decide right now. Will you remain a wandering soul? A directionless drifter, waiting for life to hand you scraps? Or will you seize control and carve out the path you were meant to walk? Because if you refuse to define your vision, the world will define it for you. And I promise you this, you will not like the life it chooses for you. Step 2. Believe it's 100% possible, or die in doubt. Doubt is the disease that kills ambition before it even takes its first breath. It is the silent assassin that whispers, "You're not good enough. You'll never make it. People like you don't succeed." And the weak, they listen, they hesitate, they shrink back into their cages, comforting themselves with excuses while watching others take everything they ever wanted. But here's the truth, the brutal, unforgiving truth. If you don't believe in your vision, you are already dead. Doubt is like driving with the handbrake on. It slows you down. It blinds you to opportunities. It destroys your momentum before you even start. You must eradicate it. Burn this into your soul. It is 100% possible for you to achieve your vision. Not 99%. Not maybe if things go well. 100% possible. Because here's the reality. People who are dumber, weaker, and less prepared than you have already done it. They weren't special. They weren't chosen. They simply believed in their own ability to figure it out. While others doubted, they executed. While others hesitated, they attacked. While others dreamed, they built. And now, they have what you want. The only difference between them and you is this: they believed it was possible, and you are still questioning it. So, decide. Right now. Will you believe in your own power? Will you throw away the chains of self-doubt and finally see yourself as capable, as worthy, as the one who breaks through? Because if you don't, if you allow even a sliver of doubt to remain, it will infect everything. It will cripple your actions. It will blind you to opportunities. It will make you hesitate when you should strike. And hesitation is the mother of regret. So burn the doubt. Kill it. Rip it from your mind and replace it with the unyielding belief that you are more than capable, that the path is there, waiting for you to walk it, that this is not a fantasy. This is your reality, if you choose to believe it. Because if you don't, then you'll die in the same place you started, watching others rise while you remain chained to your doubt. And that would be the greatest tragedy of all. Step 3. Know your why, or watch your willpower crumble. There will come a moment when the pain becomes unbearable, when the sacrifices feel too heavy, when the obstacles seem too vast, when everything in you screams to quit. And most people do. They fold. They retreat. They go back to their old lives, making excuses, telling themselves, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Pathetic. Because the truth is, they never had a why strong enough to keep them in the fight. Weak people chase success for shallow reasons. I want more money. I want a better life. I want to be successful. That isn't a why, it's a wish, and wishes crumble under pressure. But you need something deeper. What's driving you? What's at stake if you fail? What will happen if you stay exactly where you are? Is it your family? Is it the shame of living a mediocre life? Is it the fire inside you that refuses to die in obscurity? Because when the storm comes, and it will, it won't be motivation that keeps you standing. Motivation is a lie. It fades. It disappears the moment things get hard. Your why is what keeps you in the war when others surrender. It's what drags you out of bed when you don't feel like it. It's what forces you to push through the pain, the doubt, the exhaustion. It's what makes the suffering worth it. The ultra-successful don't rise because they kind of want it. They need it. They are driven by something deeper, something emotional, something powerful, something that makes quitting impossible. And if you don't have that, then the second things get hard, you'll fold just like everyone else. So ask yourself right now, what happens if I don't do this? What will my life look like if I stay the same? What will it feel like to look back in 6 months, a year, 10 years, knowing I wasted my potential? Burn the answers into your mind. Make them unbearable. Let the thought of staying the same make your skin crawl. Because if your why isn't strong enough to keep you moving forward, you will break. But if it is, then nothing will stop you. So define your why. Hold on to it. Let it drive you. Because when the pain comes, when the struggle rises, when everything is against you, your why will be the only thing standing between you and failure. And if it's not strong enough, then you were never meant to win. Step 4. Select your skill, or stay powerless forever. In this world, you are either useful or you are forgotten. It doesn't matter how badly you want success. It doesn't matter how much motivation you have. If you have no skill, you have no power. You are just another body, another faceless nobody, wandering through life, hoping that someone will hand you an opportunity. But opportunities don't come to the weak. They don't come to those who sit around waiting. They come to those who have something valuable to offer. So tell me, what can you do? What is the skill that will become your weapon? What will make you dangerous? What will separate you from the millions of others fighting for the same life you want? Without a skill, you are just another expendable pawn. Someone easily replaced, easily ignored. But when you master a skill, you become unstoppable. You become the one people need. You become the one who commands power, instead of begging for it. So choose your weapon. It could be sales, copywriting, trading, coding, public speaking, leadership, content creation. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you commit to mastering it. And no, you don't need to find the perfect skill. That's an excuse. The weak waste years searching for the right skill, but the successful, they pick one and execute. They sharpen it every single day. They go from amateur to expert, from unknown to unstoppable. Because the truth is, any skill, if mastered, will make you powerful. But without one, you are nothing. So stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting. Choose a skill. Own it. Master it. Make it your weapon. Because in this world, only the skilled survive. And the ones who refuse to master anything, they stay exactly where they are. Weak. Powerless. Forgotten. Step 5. Set action-oriented goals, or die in mediocrity. Most people set goals like they set traps for themselves. They say, I want to be successful. I want to make $10,000 a month. I want 1 million followers. And then they sit there, waiting, hoping, wishing. But let me tell you something. Hope is not a strategy. Wishing is for the weak. If you set goals based on outcomes, you are already failing. You can't control how much money lands in your account next month. You can't control how many followers you get. But you can control your actions. And action is the only thing that matters. So set your goals in blood. Don't say, I want 10 clients. Say, I will send 30 outreach messages every single day. Don't say, I want to grow my social media. Say, I will create and post one high-value piece of content every morning. Don't say, I want to get in shape. Say, I will train for 90 minutes 5 days a week. No excuses. See the difference? You don't control results. You control execution. And the ones who execute relentlessly are the ones who dominate. The problem with most people is that they obsess over the end goal, but ignore the process. They dream of the mountaintop, but they refuse to climb. That's why they stay exactly where they are, year after year, stuck in the same place, making the same empty resolutions, watching others rise while they sink deeper into the abyss of mediocrity. But not you, not anymore, because you are not here to dream. You are here to move. So set your action-based goals. Write them down. Commit to them. Make them so clear that there is no room for failure, only execution. Because at the end of the day, success isn't built on motivation. It's built on what you do, over and over again, without fail. And if you don't take action, if you waste another day, then you deserve the life you have now. Step 6. Schedule deep work, or drown in distraction. Most people do not work. They sit at their desks. They scroll. They pretend. But they do not work. They check emails. They reply to messages. They shuffle papers around. They convince themselves they're being productive while getting nothing done. And then they wonder why their life never changes. It's because they have no deep work, no focused, relentless, undistracted time where they are locked in, attacking their craft like their life depends on it. But let me tell you something. Mastery is not a mistake. Success is not an accident. The greats don't stumble into greatness. They create it through brutal, undistracted execution. And if you don't make time for that, you will lose. So here's the rule. Block out time every day for deep work. Guard it like a warrior protecting a kingdom. Shut the door. Turn off your phone. Silence the world. Attack your work with the intensity of a predator hunting prey. No emails. No social media. No distractions. Just you and the mission. Because this is where the real separation happens. Most people will never experience 1 hour of true focus in their lives. They will drift in and out of distractions, always wondering why they can't get ahead. And that is why they will remain average. But you will carve out your sacred time. You will lock in. You will produce. Because 2 hours of deep, uninterrupted work is more valuable than 12 hours of scattered nonsense. It is not about how much time you work. It is about how you use that time. And if you refuse to control your time, if you let distractions bleed you dry, then you will die in the same place you started. Step 7. Protect your mental energy, or be consumed by chaos. Every single day, you wake up with a limited supply of mental energy. Think of it like a bank account. Every decision you make, every distraction you entertain, every useless thought you entertain withdraws from that account. And by the time you actually sit down to do something that matters, you're empty. That's why most people fail. It's not because they're not smart enough. It's not because they don't work hard enough. It's because they waste their mental energy on garbage. They start their day drowning in distractions, scrolling, reacting, consuming nonsense. By the time they get to their real work, they have nothing left to give. And that is why they stay stuck. But not you. Because you will protect your mental energy like a fortress. You will eliminate distractions. You will stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. You will start your day with your most important work before the world has a chance to pull you away. Because here's the truth. Your mind is your greatest weapon. But if you let the world control it, you are already defeated. You are either in control of your mental energy, or you are a puppet being pulled by 1,000 invisible strings. So choose. Will you let distractions own you? Will you keep wasting your power on things that don't push you forward? Or will you take control? Will you cut the noise, eliminate the useless, and focus with ruthless precision? Because if you don't, then you will never make it. Step 8. Embrace sacrifice, or stay chained to comfort. Everyone wants success. Few are willing to bleed for it. Because the truth is, the life you want has a price. It costs late nights. It costs early mornings. It costs saying no to distractions, to comfort, to the easy road. And most people, they aren't willing to pay. They say they want to be great, but they refuse to sacrifice their weekends. They say they want to build wealth, but they waste their money on temporary pleasures. They say they want to master a skill, but they trade practice for mindless entertainment. They want the reward without the pain. They will never have it. Because extraordinary success demands extraordinary sacrifice. You will lose sleep. You will lose friends. You will lose comfort. And you must be willing to give it all up. Because here's the reality. You are always sacrificing something. Either you sacrifice your time and energy for your future, or you sacrifice your dreams for short-term pleasure. Either you suffer now for a life of greatness, or you stay comfortable now and suffer the regret of wasted potential. One of these pains is temporary. The other is eternal. So choose. Are you willing to give up the distractions, the comforts, the wasted time? Are you willing to endure the grind while everyone else indulges in mediocrity? Because if you are not, then you will fail. And you will wake up years from now drowning in regret, haunted by the life you could have had. Do not let that happen. Suffer now. Bleed now. Sacrifice now. Because on the other side of pain is power, and only those willing to endure will ever taste it. Step 9. Invest in your skills, or stay broke and powerless. The world doesn't reward effort. It doesn't reward intentions. It rewards value. And if you do not have a skill that is valuable, you are worthless in this game. That is why the rich get richer. That is why the powerful rise, while the weak remain trapped. Because the successful invest in themselves, while everyone else wastes their time. Let me be clear. Your success is directly tied to the value you bring. Your income, your influence, your opportunities, they all depend on one thing: your skill. If you want to earn more, learn more. If you want to be in demand, become irreplaceable. If you want to control your destiny, master your craft. Because nobody cares how bad you want it. The world will not pity you. The market will not reward you for trying. You either have the skill or you don't. And if you don't, you better start sharpening your blade. That means investing in yourself. Read the books. Take the courses. Study the masters. Put in the hours of practice that no one else will. Because while the weak complain about why they aren't successful, the elite are leveling up every single day. The ultra-successful don't see self-education as an expense. They see it as the most valuable investment on earth. Because every new skill, every new piece of knowledge, increases their power. And if you don't invest in yourself, you will stay exactly where you are. Weak, dependent, broke, forgettable. So make a decision. Will you continue wasting time, hoping things magically change? Or will you take every spare moment, every spare dollar, every ounce of energy, and pour it into your own evolution? Because the only way out is through knowledge, skill, and execution. If you refuse to invest in yourself, you are choosing to lose. Step 10. Study your failures deeply, or be destroyed by them. Failure is coming for you. Not once, not twice, over and over again. It will hit harder than you expect. It will take more from you than you're ready to give. And most people, they break. They fall apart. They take failure as a sign to stop. They retreat into their comfort zones, whispering to themselves, maybe this just isn't for me. That is why they stay weak. That is why they stay average. Because failure is not the end. It is the beginning. And the ones who rise, they do not fear failure. They dissect it. Failure is a blueprint, but only if you study it. What went wrong? What could you have done better? What did this mistake teach you? Most people ignore these questions. They fail, and they move on, making the same stupid mistakes over and over again, never improving, never adapting. And that is why they will never win. But you will treat failure like a lesson carved in stone. Every time you fall, you will analyze why. Every time you lose, you will extract the lesson. Every time something doesn't go your way, you will adjust, refine, and come back stronger. Because that is what the elite do. They do not fear failure. They use it. They weaponize it. And over time, their failures become fuel. Their setbacks become strategy. And suddenly, what once seemed like failure becomes the foundation of their power. The only true failure is refusing to learn. And if you do not study your mistakes, if you do not adjust, if you do not refine your strategy, you will keep failing forever. So make a choice. Will you be one of the millions who let failure break them? Or will you be the rare breed who faces failure head-on, dissects it, absorbs it, and uses it to come back even more dangerous? Because the only difference between the weak and the strong is this: the weak let failure be the end. The strong make failure the beginning. Which one are you? Step 11. Make a public commitment or stay trapped in comfort. Weak people love secrecy. They whisper their goals to themselves in the dark. They make silent promises, knowing that if they fail, no one will know. They keep their dreams private, not because they're humble, but because they're afraid. Afraid of looking stupid. Afraid of being held accountable. Afraid of the pressure that comes when their word is on the line. And that is why they never rise. Because without accountability, you will always take the easy way out. Comfort will seduce you. Excuses will consume you. And no one will call you out on your failure, because no one even knew you were trying. That's why you must make a public commitment. Tell someone you respect what you're going to achieve. Announce your goal to someone who won't let you off the hook. Put your name, your reputation, your pride on the line. Because the second you make a public declaration, everything changes. Now it's real. Now you have pressure. Now quitting isn't just about disappointing yourself. It's about facing the people who believed in you. And that fear, that's good. Fear of looking like a failure will drive you to keep going. Fear of being seen as weak will push you to keep grinding. Fear of embarrassment will keep you disciplined when motivation fades. This is how winners operate. They don't hide in the shadows. They stake their claim in the open. And when the world is watching, they execute. Because now, failure isn't an option. And that is exactly why they succeed. But if you keep your goals to yourself, if you let yourself slip back into private fantasies and empty promises, then you will fail quietly. You will fade away with the millions of others who had potential, but never had the courage to put their name on the line. So step forward, declare your goal, own your ambition, and once you do, you will find that there is no turning back, because now, the world is watching. Step 12. Visualize the journey, or be broken by it. Most people make a fatal mistake. They sit in their little corners, daydreaming about success. They picture the money. They picture the power. They picture the victory. And then, when reality punches them in the face, they crumble. Because they never visualized the war. Let me tell you something. Success is not a highlight reel. It is a battlefield. You will struggle. You will face rejection. You will have nights where you stare at the ceiling, questioning everything. And if you don't prepare for that, it will destroy you. That's why visualization isn't just about seeing the finish line. It's about seeing the fight. Visualize the exhaustion, but pushing through it. Visualize the failures, but standing back up. Visualize the doubt, but silencing it with action. Because when you train your mind to expect the pain, it can no longer break you. When the struggle comes, and it will, you won't be surprised. You will be prepared. You will not hesitate. You will not fold. You will execute. And while others drown in the shock of hardship, you will keep moving forward, because you already saw this coming. Most people see success as a fantasy. The real ones see success as a process, a journey, a war that must be fought step by step, failure by failure, victory by victory. So ask yourself, are you only picturing the reward, or are you visualizing the struggle and preparing to crush it? Because if you only see the glory, the grind will break you. But if you see the grind and still move forward, nothing will stop you. To those who return time and time again, you know what this is. You are the ones who refuse to settle. The ones who see the world for what it is. Not a playground, but a battleground. And yet, you keep coming back. Hungry, ruthless, unstoppable. For that, we salute you. And to those who are new here, welcome to the movement. But understand this, GrimFace is not for the weak. We are not here to comfort you. We are not here to feed you lies. We are here to forge you into something greater, to break you out of mediocrity, to destroy the excuses that have chained you down for too long, to remind you that everything you want is yours, if you are willing to take it. So if you're ready to step up, to fight for your evolution, to walk the path most fear, then subscribe, follow, and commit. Because this is not entertainment. This is war. And the GrimFace movement, we don't just watch, we execute. Stay sharp, stay relentless, and we'll see you in the next one.